Okay, I think we're ready to begin. Could everybody please have a seat? Yes? We ready? Okay. We are blessed and delighted to see each and every one of you. Hello to those joining us on live stream. That's my seat. And we are glad for that blessing. We're going to start with some pioneer memories.
Hi, my name is Nolita Conlog, and I've been a member of St. Raymond Parish since day one. Actually, I was here before the parish was formed. My husband and I married in February of '61, so 4 months later, we got word that we were going to have our own parish. I was so elated because up to that time, I had been dividing my time between St. Augustine's or St. Augustine's in Pleasanton and St. Isidore's in Danville. What a happy day. We learned that Father John C. Murphy was going to be our pastor. And one of the first things that the women of this area, I have to pause here and tell you, there were only a handful of women in this area at that time. None of this was here, nothing, no 680, no 580. But we managed somehow. The first families that moved to this area were 40 families that came in caravan from the San Diego area. So that was the nucleus. Everything that you see now was not here then. So, and my husband and I were living down the road at the Forest Home Farms, so we weren't even a member of this community. We went back and forth. One of the first things Father Murphy wanted to do was set about finding a place to hold the Sunday Masses. The weekday Masses were not a problem. He did that in an old farmhouse, 110 years old, that was situated across the way from us over here at the Shannon Community Center area. And the Masses during the week were held at an altar that was made from an old wooden door. He baptized the children there. Children were baptized using a wash basin and a mason jar. My daughter was born the next year, and she was one of the first babies here at that time, and she was baptized there. It just tickled my grandmother no end. She lived in San Francisco and went to all the beautiful churches there. She couldn't believe where we were attending Mass. So we were focused on building a church. And so the women banded together to set about raising funds for that purpose. In doing so, we formed very strong friendships because we were together day and night almost. And this community was growing at such a fierce pace. Overnight, it seemed that 20 houses went up. So pretty soon we were 60 families. And so there was never any possibility of using the chapel, Old St. Raymond's at the time, because we outgrew it right away. So Father Murphy located the chapel at Camp Parks, and we attended Mass there. That was an experience. We shared that chapel with the Baptists. We'd come in the early shift, then remove everything. The Baptists would come in and do their service. Then they would leave, and we'd come back for a second Mass. That's how we were growing so quickly. So that went on for quite a long period of time as we continued raising funds. And so what we did was formalize it by meeting one night at that farmhouse, a group of 25 women. And we decided that night to name ourselves St. Raymond Women's Guild. We set up bylaws and formed a very, very strong bond of community and friendship among the 25 of us and our families at that time. We grew as the area grew, and we started focusing on how we were going to build this church. You can't imagine the number of cupcakes and cakes and pies that we built, and that we cooked, baked. We did everything in pursuit of this goal. Father Murphy he assured me that my first child would definitely attend St. Raymond's School. Well, that didn't happen for years and years and years later, but he was a man of great ambition, and he kind of galvanized us into everything that we did. Wonderful, wonderful man. We were so blessed to have him as our first priest here. I don't remember how long he was here. I know he was killed in a car accident tragically in 1970 it was, and was replaced by Monsignor Bernard Moran, that we loved so very, very much as well. But back to building this church, we were so focused on that. We started doing fashion shows at Castlewood Country Club, and the Castlewood of that day could hold 800 to 1,000 women, and because we were the only show in town, everybody came. Everyone was, all the women were there. So we raised a great deal of money over the years to make our dream a reality. Some of the ways that we raised funds were the Halloween parties. We charged for everything. Picnics, casino nights, rummage sales, Christmas boutiques. And the men held turkey shoots right here on the property. Our fashion shows were legendary, and that's probably what our main fundraising was. The old-timers here, no, I won't say old-timers, long-time residents of the area and their families may recall the Christmas pageants. Week-long event with a cast of hundreds. Almost everybody in the parish participated. And Dublin was growing so fast that there were people who were not members of our parish, but it was attended by everybody for miles around. Legendary. Professional quality. We had wonderful, wonderful, talented people who put this on. And our Santa and Mrs. Claus were Bob and Raina Whitney. A lot of you will remember Raina. We lost her 4 months ago. I still get emotional with that loss, but Raina was the catalyst for many of our enterprises, and she was the one who really encouraged us in our efforts. And one of the efforts over the years produced this lovely grotto that I'm standing in front of. Mary, so beautiful over the years, was funded and sponsored by the Women's Guild. Just one of the many contributions that the Guild has made to this parish over the years. Today, I'm glad to say that the Guild continues in its stated purpose of supporting the pastor and the parish in all their endeavors. All the women of the parish at that time were involved in our pursuits of furthering religious education and social activities. And we're still doing it, almost 60 years later. Our own anniversary will be in January of 1962. So we're the first and oldest organization at the parish. We pledged to assist our pastor in spiritual, charitable, and material undertakings for the benefit of the whole parish community. I truly believe that those early years of building community relationships have served to form the spirit of St. Raymond, which endures today. Even and especially during these difficult times. On behalf of the Guild and myself, I extend sincere wishes for a blessed and happy New Year to Father Eric and the parish clergy and staff. And a message to Father Eric. I know I'm speaking for many, many parishioners. We feel truly blessed to have you at St. Raymond. Your love and support through this past year have been like a ray of sunshine in an otherwise very bleak time. I look forward to the day when we can all gather together in safety. I miss those hugs. Happy 60th anniversary to all of us.
I'm Ann Henderson, and I moved here Friday, June the 11th, 1965. The reason I remember that is it was my birthday. I had never lived in a single family home, and this was a big event, in addition to the fact that I had 2 toddlers and a 3-week-old baby. So it was also very overwhelming. It all settled in, and Sunday morning we got up to go to church, and we had to go to Camp Parks because St. Raymond's didn't have a church. You had to go either at 8 o'clock in the morning or noon, because the Baptists used the chapel in the afternoon or the mid-morning. About a year later, I had another baby, and this time we went to the existing St. Raymond's Church, and I say that in quotes because it was a little farmhouse where Shannon Center is now. And Father Murphy was the pastor then, and it was where he lived, and he had an altar in his living room, and the dog sat there next to the chair where I was sitting watching Patrick being baptized. Time went on, and I raised my 9 children here, and it's a wonderful community to raise children, and that church was so convenient because eventually we got what Father Murphy called the Safeway model, which was our church hall, and it's still our church hall. And then we got a beautiful, real church.
My name is Joan Ernst, and my story begins back in 1966 when one of my dear childhood friends and I decided that we were going to take a trip across the entire United States as 20-somethings. I had just completed my first year of teaching, and I had just purchased my first new car. Our destination was California, where I had an aunt and uncle and cousins living in San Ramon. At that time, I never would have imagined that I would take a teaching position in the Murray School District, which of course now we know as the Dublin Unified School District. I was there for almost 20 years, and at that time I had continued my education to gain my administrative credential. I later accepted a position as an elementary school principal. In the meantime, around 1971, I met my future husband, and we continued to attend St. Raymond's Church. My husband became an usher, and I served as a Eucharistic minister for about 12 years. I worked on the pastoral council with one of our early pastors, Father Dick Matchin, and then I later worked on the pastoral council again with Father Patrick during the time of one of our first St. Raymond's major renovations. That was an exciting time. I remember how everyone looked so forward to the renovation, but we also had to move, of course, out of the church at that time, and we were having Mass in the hall. About, I think, after I retired, I think it was around 2003 that I joined the Wings Ministry. I have been a shepherd in that ministry several times. That ministry has brought such inspiration and peace to so many women. Even during this time of the pandemic, we're still meeting on Zoom every week, and it just brings solace to everyone, especially those women who are confined to their house during this pandemic. When I started my administrative work, of course, there were many challenges, and I remember Father Patrick, who gave me words of comfort and solace so many times. He was not only my pastor, he was a very dear friend. I think that the ministries at St. Raymond's are so encouraging, so inspirational, but you have to get involved in order to know that. So I do encourage all of the new people to get involved. The Bible study groups that I've belonged to, several of them, they have been very inspirational. They have increased my knowledge of Jesus, and they have helped me to learn how to navigate the Bible. So St. Raymond's is a community event. It's not just a church where we praise God. It is a place where we reach out to the whole community. When the Knights of Columbus have their incredible events like the crab feeds and the St. Patrick's Day dinner and the Friday fish fries, they are support for our community at St. Raymond, but they're also a support for the entire community. So I encourage new people to get involved in the ministries at St. Raymond's Church. Happy 60th anniversary, St. Raymond.
And thank you to our brave speakers and to Troy Matheny and others who helped with the filming of that. As you know, our parish began in June 1961, almost 60 years ago, and we are deeply indebted to the parishioners who built the St. Raymond community. There are quite a few pioneer names to be read to you today. Some of them are here with us. Some are watching the live stream. Some are represented here today by members of their families. And some have gone home to the Lord, but are included here today because a family member reached out or because we had a personal memory of them. We know we missed some of the pioneers, and we would be very grateful if you would share those names with us later so that we can include them in the anniversary book, which will be part of our big finale of our 60th anniversary celebration in June. Now, when you see your name or your family name come up on the screen, please stand for a moment so we can locate you. But let's wait until the end to give the applause, okay? Then we'll go through the list. Al and Carmel Mitchell. Ann and Jay Henderson. Anna and Bernie Ratto. Barbara and Paul Moffett. Barbara and Tony Finko. Give a wave over there, Barbara. Betty and Earl Fitzgerald. Bill and Carol Olmo. Carol and Gerald Rowley. Carol and Tom Tringali. Carolyn McMillan. Cliff and Carolyn Daw. David and Connie Sanchez, and family. I'm sure many of your family members were here. Edith and Fred Gower. Gay Hyde. Gaylord and Lillian Gesnon. George and Mary McHugh. Giovanni and Catherine Astorino. Vera Astorino and Frank Adia. Jackie and Frank Ty. Jim Mulso is here. Jim and Carol Dutra. John and Joan Abranches. Joan and Paul Ernst. And we just saw Joan on the screen, and she's here. John and Carmen Diddick. John and Jean Mangini. Joyce and Nelson Davis. Kathy and Bill McGinnis. Marilyn and Richard Creighton. Mary Martin is here with us. Nancy Proetti, she's in the back there. Nolita Conlog, who we saw on the screen. Norman and Tony Caveza, they are the aunt and uncle that Joan mentioned. Phil and Chris Castelluccio. Phyllis Stevens. Regina Gaynor, who's represented out on the plaza by her son, Pat Gaynor, and his family. Raina Whitney, who is represented here by her sons, Ken and Jerry, and her daughter, Kathy. Roseanne Russo, the other niece of the Cavezas. And Roseanne waved to us over there. Rosemary Hughes, who's watching us on live stream. Rosemary and Pat Mullins. Rosemary Cannon, who is here, and I believe her daughter was probably a pioneer, yes? A little tiny one. Tom and Hazel Lynch, represented by their daughter, Maureen Laubacher. Tom and Lois Ganley. Valerie and Wayne Barnes. Let's give them all a great big hand. We acknowledge and recognize each of them for providing a strong foundation for this community. This parish is part of your legacy. Thank you.
The recipients of this year's Ministry Award were nominated by the ministry leads. They are being recognized for always going that extra mile whenever they volunteer. Their initiative and passion help make our community thrive. When I read your name, please stand. Alcion Dowling, who is out on the plaza. Has been a caring, dependable, loving visitor and communion minister for the homebound for over 10 years. Chuck and Mary Hott, who are also out on the plaza. Chuck has been involved in so many ministries within St. Raymond's and is always volunteering help whenever or wherever needed. Mary gives so much of herself to help St. Raymond's Parish continue to be the loving, kind, and supportive parish it is today. Along with her many individual ministry contributions, she and her husband prepare new parents on the path to baptism for their children. Denise Stein is also outdoors, and her outstanding interpersonal skills and dedication make her a great addition to her position as Wing's moderator and religious education teacher. Gay Hyde. As a charismatic prayer leader, she is a loving example to so many people. She is blessed to be of service to our community. Joan Siosen. Joan is a committed and a dependable member of the Environment Ministry. She is always ready to share her talents. Liz Nooner, who could not be here today, and we hope she's watching on live stream. Liz is another person who dedicates herself through the Environment Ministry and attended to the grotto for years. We are recognizing her for consistency, dedication, time, longevity, and dependability. Lourdes Versosa. Lourdes is a member of our Environment Ministry and is always committed to making our surroundings help enhance our celebrations. Maureen Laubacher. Maureen has been a member of the Catholic Daughters of the Americas and is now the Catholic Daughters Regent. She is a member of the Women's Guild, Spiritual Exercises of St. Ignatius. She's a lector, Legion of Mary, and Wings. Rich Malone is not here today, and we hope he is also at home watching. Rich has been a member of the parish for a number of years. Most recently, he has shown a preferential option for the poor in his devotion to managing the food bank spending numerous hours each week receiving and organizing the food pantry. Sylvia San Miguel. Sylvia served as the Vice Regent of the Catholic Daughters of the Americas, leads the yearly Walk for Life, and volunteers at the church liturgical services. Therese Gann. Therese is a true leader by her loving example. She does a lot of sewing and embroiders linens to make our altar beautiful. She changes the altar banners according to the church calendar, and she has been a communion minister and leads the rosary after daily Mass.
Nita is worried I'm gonna wing this. Thank you very much for our, first and foremost, to our team, to our 60th anniversary steering committee for putting this together. This is just the second of the series of events, and I'm overwhelmed already just to see how organized and how much heart is given to this celebration, particularly as we honor today the pioneers and our service awardees. Once again, a big hand to the members of our steering committee. Thank you very much. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to announce the inaugural Raina Whitney Service Awards. The Raina Whitney Service Awards was
Hi.
for her lifelong dedication to the St. Raymond's Church community. Raina was one of the first parishioners of St. Raymond's in 1961. Sister Elizabeth, then CCD coordinator, knocked on Raina's door the day after the Whitneys registered at the parish and recruited her to become a volunteer catechist, wasting no time, Sister Elizabeth. From there, she became one of the founding members of the St. Raymond's Women's Guild, charter member of the court number 2057 St. Raymond of the Catholic Daughters of the Americas, an RCIA member, team member, and pastoral council member. She was also a lector, extraordinary minister of Holy Communion in church and to the homebound. Raina Whitney definitely became an institution. She was instrumental in shaping the ministries and volunteerism here at our beloved church. I had the privilege of meeting her at confessions. I'm not even sure if I should say this. I had the privilege of meeting her at confessions during my first weeks here at St. Raymond's, and later connected with her on the phone to discuss the possibility of writing the next 35 years of the history of our church after having penned the first 25. I remember too that Raina was one of those who reached out upon learning about the death of my grandmother in May. You know, looking through my stack of letters or envelopes, because I was not able to find the letter, but I was able to find the envelope. It was dated May 18, the day immediately after my grandmother's passing. And just last night when we were doing a run-through of this event, Nita mentioned that Raina also has the habit of keeping envelopes to collect the stamps. Amazing. Just totally incredible, and how her legacy lives on, and very fitting to name this award after her. So for our inaugural Raina Whitney Service Awards, I have the deepest gratitude to present to you our awardees. Just like Raina, Our recipients today have shown great generosity in giving of their time and talents to the St. Raymond community. They are our exemplary volunteers. The first two recipients are not present today but are hopefully watching our live streaming right now. Our first awardee, Jerry Pitori. Jerry is a member of the parish since 1970s and a member of the Knights of Columbus. Jerry proved himself to be invaluable in the area of construction and landscaping. Over the years, he spent countless hours building, rebuilding, renovating, and creating beautiful spaces everywhere on our church grounds. Recently, Jerry emailed me, texted, and went to the office looking for me and thought I was in trouble. He was looking for me to offer his service yet once again, this time to help with our landscaping. Since last week, before he left for an out-of-town trip to celebrate a milestone in their family, he has been very busy trimming the bushes and the shrubs by the entryway of our church. Such dedication, such love. And so we award him this inaugural Reina Whitney Service Awards. Jerry, congratulations and thank you very much. Our second awardee is Rosemary Hughes. A pioneer as well, Rosemary is famous at St. Raymond's for her devotion to the choir, singing Sunday after Sunday at the 10:30 a.m. Mass and at many additional liturgical services throughout the years. At Wings, Rosemary handled every need that required musical expertise. Rosemary has also been a valuable member of the Women's Guild for many, many years, contributing a myriads of ways. Rosemary, you are watching today. Thank you very much and congratulations. The third recipient of our award, Reina Whitney Service, Nolita Conlag. Please stand to be acknowledged. One of our very first parishioners, Nolita and her husband, arrived here in Dublin in 1961. And it wasn't long before Nolita was helping to start the Women's Guild here at St. Raymond's. She was instrumental in their fundraising efforts to get the hall first built and then this church. She has been involved in every aspect of the parish for her entire 60-year history. Nolita, congratulations and thank you very much. And I say the same thing. I can't wait to hug you and to hug everybody to express how grateful I am, how grateful we are to be part of this community. And finally, our fourth recipient for this inaugural award, David Sanchez. David has demonstrated his all-around devotion to the parish forever. Like forever. This includes, but is not limited to, being a knight, sharing his maintenance expertise, and attending all church events, especially the Spanish Masses. If something is happening here at St. Raymond's, I'm told David was there, like this one. And he is there. He's part of these celebrations, working, contributing, and always just giving. David has always been ready to lend his hand, has always been ready to fulfill a need whenever asked. And last week, David was here with wife Connie as they celebrated their 64th year, professing once again their love and fidelity to each other. May I ask both of you to please stand? David and Connie, please. 64 years, and needless to say, that's the longest we have witnessed last week, and I'm sure for many more years, your love, your fidelity would serve as powerful witness to all of us here. So David, congratulations and thank you once again. Once again to our awardees, Jerry, Rosemary, Nolita, and David, our most profound thanks. Know that you're always in our prayers and we cannot thank you enough for what you have done. God bless you. Today, my dear friends, we have honored several important individuals for their service here in our community. But there's one more nomination to share. One of our ministry leaders sent this following: I nominate the parishioners of St. Raymond's Church for this recognition. But for their unique talents, incredible time, and generous treasure, our parish would not be the thriving, exciting, and faith-filled community it is today. I am humbled by all those who do a little and a lot each day, and I'm grateful for their contributions to the parish. And on a personal note, in my young ministry here at St. Raymond's, I can attest to this. I'm truly overwhelmed by your stories and memories. I hear from you and from each other's dedication to our beloved community. We are indeed blessed. You know, our grand knight earlier was saying, you're wearing our sign. You know, the blessed sign outside, I'm wearing it because I'm proud to be part of this community, a community that is indeed blessed. The planning committee had wholeheartedly agrees with this nomination. In the near future, my dear friends, my families, the eloquent words of this nomination will be displayed in the church for all to see, to thank and honor all of you, parishioners of St. Raymond's. Each parishioner is vital to the parish through the liturgies, committees, organizations, religious education, the school, and special events and activities. And so then, we congratulate you all, and we thank each and every one of you. And to conclude our event, I'd like to say again how grateful I am on behalf of our steering committee for your presence here, for the service and dedication of our awardees. And as we conclude the event, and for those joining us outdoors, as we indicated earlier, we will be handing out the certificates and a souvenir magnet for you to remember and for us to thank you for your service. A very simple token of appreciation for us to remember this very special event. And also, please continue supporting our 60th year series of events. And what would happen next month would be our family movie night scheduled on March 20th. We invite you to pack a picnic dinner or movie treats along with your lawn chairs and blankets for this family theme event. Again, March 20, and it would be happening out in the plaza so that we can continue our celebration, our gratitude for being the blessed community we are today. Again, thank you for helping us to honor and to celebrate our pioneers and service award recipients today. God bless you all.
If you'll just stay where you are for a couple of more minutes, we will deliver your certificates.